Welcome to DreamShare, a bi-weekly podcast where we talk about dreams, share dreams we've had, and figure out what they could mean. I'm your host, Sarah Strunk, and I'm here, as always, with my brother and my co-host, Chris.
We already did the singing one!
Okay, then I'll introduce you in a different way. I'll be really angry. Here's my brother, Christopher!
Is that what you sound like when you're angry?
Yeah.
Oh, my name is Sarah! Oh!
You made me mad!
Oh!
Well, speaking of being mad, and by speaking of being mad, I mean speaking of being sweaty.
Yeah, those are very similar.
Today, I thought it would be fun. Well, it might be only fun for me, but I feel like the last couple episodes, I have just given away all my secrets about how my knees get sweaty sometimes when I dream. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and throw my covers off, and my knees will just be wet with sweat. So I was like, why is that? And so I did a little bit of research because I was like, you know what a fun fact is? It's why your knees sweat. Of course, that's a fun fact.
The top of your knees.
Yeah, the top of your knees, not like your knee pits. Those are normally sweaty.
Yeah, right. That's like a normal human sweats there.
Right, yeah, because it's like a crevasse.
But the top of your kneecaps sweat.
Yeah. Like I put my hand on them and my hand was like, bleh. So I did a little research, and what I found on the placement of the knee sweat on top of the knee is that everyone sweats differently. So basically, there was no conclusive evidence or explanation of why I sweat on the top of my knees, besides that people just are different in their bodily nature.
Where are you getting all this information?
The internet.
Okay. So that was a good fun fact with no sources. Okay. Welcome to DreamShare, where we analyze.
We analyze things here. Haha, very funny.
Yeah, that is very funny.
So anyway, that was more of a silly fun fact. So I actually do have a real fun fact for this episode. It was sent in by a couple of people who listen to DreamShare. They sent me the article. But a new study has just come out about dreaming. And it asks, can we communicate people while they're dreaming in their sleep?
I know the answer to this one. Can I buzz in?
Yeah, buzz in.
Buzz, buzz, buzz. Yes.
Yay, you're correct.
Yes.
So scientists figured out that they could ask simple questions like, what is 8 minus 6? Or yes or no questions to lucid dreamers. And the lucid dreamers could respond to those using eye movement, so either shifting their eyes to the left or to the right, or using facial muscle signals, i.e. twitches.
What's your source on this one, Sarah?
This one, I have 3 sources, okay? We got an article from NPR, which is an interview with one of the scientists who led the project on the American team, because there are multiple teams.
Mm-hmm.
I got a Scientific American article about neuroscience, which goes through the details of this. And I even read the actual study that was published in Current Biology, a scientific journal. So basically, previous studies around, I think starting in the 80s, have been done on dreamers and lucid dreamers especially, and they've sent signals out through eye movement and muscle twitches. Since the body's paralyzed in REM sleep, those are really the only movements you can have in REM sleep. But scientists wondered if they could send signals in and have a 2-way communication instead of a 1-way communication. So 4 teams from 4 different countries, there's an American team from Germany, France, and the Netherlands. They were all doing the same experiment with varying different methods, but it was pretty much the same. Instead of fighting to the death about it, they decided to collaborate and team up, yay for teamwork, and they found out through all of their studies that yes, you can communicate. However, it was only with lucid dreamers because they had to have some way to recognize that they were in a dream to answer the questions.
Right. And to communicate with them, they used lights and sounds to communicate with the lucid dreamers. And then before the lucid dreamers went to sleep, they worked out a system so that while they were sleeping, they could move their eyes to the left or to the right, depending on the answer to the question. So they were asked yes or no questions, and then they would look left or look right, and that would kind of confirm for the scientists that yes, we are having a 2-way communication.
Right. From my understanding, and you can probably hear more about this in the NPR interview with one of the actual scientists and researchers, but from my understanding is they would ask the person while they were awake, they would ask them what is 6 minus 8? And the person would say 2, and then they would tell the person to move their eyes to the left 2 times. And so it would prime the brain basically giving it the way to answer the question so that when you're sleeping, the brain could more easily go, okay, I know what to do because I've done it before.
Right.
And the different teams from different countries did have like slightly varying ways. So the French team would actually incorporate a couple different questions that were like more complicated than just like, what is 8 minus 6? They would ask like, do you like chocolate? Do you speak Spanish? Like those types of yes or no questions. But the German team would actually use Morse code to ask the questions. It was really interesting because one of the German participants reported that in their dream, when they started to do the Morse code, it came through in the flickering of lights within their dream. And then that's how they were able to give the answer.
Oh, that's crazy. So like they did the Morse code in a room where the person was sleeping, and then in the person's dream, the lights wherever they were in their dream world was flickering, and that's how they knew what the Morse code was?
Yeah, which is like some Matrix type stuff.
That is some Matrix type stuff. How did they respond? Just with eye movement again?
I wasn't sure about this one because this is from the interview in NPR where the scientist talks about some of the examples.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how the person answered. But like another example from the French team was that the person sleeping said that the question came through to them and they thought they were talking to God.
Oh.
Like they thought God was the one who, like in their dream,
Right.
who asked them, do you like chocolate? Like, so.
The real hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, exactly. No, but the purpose of this, and not just the purpose of the experiment, but the whole like takeaway that I get from it is that we can do so much in our sleep. And our brains are active on a level that we don't understand. And so there's a lot of potential with what else is possible during sleep, but there's also a lot of potential for like using it for good. I get this from the NPR interview with Karen Konkoly, who is one of the head researchers at Northwestern University, who in the NPR interview stated that how you could potentially use this for good is if a lucid dreamer were having repetitive or recurring dreams that were of a nightmare, where they knew they were running away from something or like a monster was chasing them or something bad was happening, but they couldn't do anything about it, but they were aware they're in the dream. You could then bring in a dream therapist or maybe, I don't know, any therapist to guide you through that lucid dream to say, you're in a dream, you can chase the monster back or you can kill the monster. Like, and it would help people who are dealing with trauma and just like those reoccurring anxieties that are not easily dealt with. They can help them deal with the trauma while they're sleeping.
Right. It's like another form of therapy.
Right. Dream therapy. Yeah, but I just think that's cool because it just opens up a lot of possibilities. Like, who knows? We could maybe do a sleep study and hook up those little beep boop wires to our brains. And then we could have a DreamShare live stream.
Well,
And then you could watch our dreams and our brainwaves.
okay, I don't know if that would be that exciting because sleep studies normally take like multiple days and you have to go to like a room and sleep. And I don't know if you can go, hey, doc, do you mind just like putting this thing up on Twitch real quick?
We're going to live stream. Welcome to BrainShare.
Welcome to BrainShare, where we're literally sharing our brains on this episode.
Who knows? You might catch Sarah waking up in her sweat. Someone might fart in their sleep.
I don't want any of this.
Well, anyway, I thought this study was worth mentioning and it's really interesting. So if you want to read more about it or you want to find out more information, more detail, you can check out the links that will be in our description. So I have a dream to share. Actually, I have 2 short dreams to share on this episode, and the commonality between them, why I chose them, is because they were 2 dreams where I woke up in sweaty puddle of knee sweat.
I'm so excited for this episode to be over.
Things you didn't know about me, but you do now. My knee sweat. So that's probably a really weird thing to put out on the internet, but oh well. So I hope that somebody else out there who, this is where you put the like Sarah McLachlan music behind it.
Oh, okay, sure.
I hope that my story of sweaty knees can help that one person out there, that one lonely person who thinks they're alone in their sweaty knee problems. You're not alone. I see you. I hear you. Sweat. Okay.
Okay, great.
All right, so here we go. Here's the first dream. 3, 2, 1.
Whoosh.
Whoosh. I was in what seemed to be an airport baggage claim area, but it was all white, like creepy dystopian sterile white, and the claim area was completely empty. Upon looking around a second time, I observed that it was endless. There was no apparent end that I could see in either direction. My perspective changed, and suddenly I was looking at my dream as if it was a movie version of the event. I sat about 3/4 to the right of the screen, and looking at myself, I was sitting on one of those circular benches that wrapped around a pillar. The security guard suddenly appeared and told me to leave. I said I was waiting for someone. He said to get out of there. Don't wait for the man, it was too dangerous. He urged me to leave and run out of the endless baggage claim. It seemed like he was giving me the opposite of freedom, though. It seemed like he was only giving me a head start. I freaked out, but tried to stay cool on the outside while I began to run. I woke up in a full body, heavy sweat, kneecaps and all.
Gross. Sarah, you have a lot of dreams with long, endless hallways or corridors with no entrances or exits.
Yikes. That means I feel stuck. Which, I mean, it makes sense because we're all like, we can't go out places.
But is this like, did you have those before in the pre-times, the pre-pandemic?
I don't remember any. I mean, I'd have to look back at my notes, but I'm pretty sure most of my endless hallway dreams have been fairly recent.
Gotcha.
Like, not even during pandemic recent, like recent. Like, at this point during the pandemic, almost approaching a year of being under lockdown or quarantine or careful or whatever you're doing. There's a lot of feelings of stuckness and time moving forward, but you're not necessarily moving forward. Or it doesn't feel like you're moving forward.
I'm definitely not moving forward.
Yeah, I'm just sitting at my desk. Beep, beep. Which brings me to my second dream. It was horrifying. It's a terrifying tale. Buckle up because we're diving in again. 3, 2, 1.
How dramatic. Whoosh.
Whoosh. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Too many nekos. Nekos are cats in Japanese, or the once popular app, Neko Atsume. Meow. Too many nekos were using me to get on the highway that goes to the airport, and they weren't paying the toll. Meow. So I was left with the charges because I helped them find the highway in the first place, and I was so upset and sweaty because everyone except for the nekos was mad that I didn't pay the toll, but the nekos tricked me into getting the airport for free. Meow, 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 meow. Meow. And then I woke up all sweaty.
I like that one. That was great. I like to think a bunch of cartoon cats were like, meow, 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 meow.
Yeah, they were. It literally, I was like, oh, can I help you? And they were like, meow, 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 get to the airport. And so I like showed them the way to the airport. And then everyone was like, yo, you didn't pay the toll. And I was like, what do you mean? I was just helping the cats go to the airport. The little nekos, they're cute. They're so cute. They want to go to the airport. And then they were like, oh, yeah, well, cats don't have money. Cats don't have opposable thumbs. Like, they can't pay.
They got you there.
So you got to pay the bill. You got to pick up the tab, Sarah. And I was like, oh, my God, the nekos tricked me. And I loved them. I put my faith in them.
Do they all look like the cartoon cats from Neko
They did.
Atsume? Okay, perfect.
It was really cute.
Perfect. With their little buttholes?
Yeah. They were like different colors and they had really round cartoon heads and they were like, meow, 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 meow.
But they were evil. Ooh.
I know. I think, okay, so this dream was at a time during the pandemic. I think it was last fall, where I was very involved in the Neko Atsume app.
Oh.
Because I did not have a cat of my own, so I was taking care of these little cartoon cats on my phone.
I did not know that.
Oh yes, I was an avid player for about a month. It took up a lot of my time. So I think after I kind of was like, Sarah, it's time to give yourself a break. Like you need to pause the app, let go of the nekos. They don't need to be checked on every 30 minutes of your day.
Oh my God.
Like they won't bring you toys and they won't give you gifts of golden and silver fish unless you leave them alone. And I think this was when I had that dream. I was feeling the pressure of motherhood from these small cartoon cats. They needed me, but at the same time they were using me. So,
Well, we'll have to ask Mom about that, I guess.
yeah.
Mom, would you describe us as cute cats that are really just using you?
Depends on the day.
Okay.
But anyway, so those are my dreams that have made me, just some, I should say, not all, but just some of the dreams that have made me wake up very, very panicked, anxious state.
I see. I don't have a dream that I can remember where I've woken up and been like, oh my God, I'm so sweaty. I've definitely, woken up sweaty and stuff like that. But it's not always the result of a dream.
Do you like run in your sleep?
No, I just like forgot to turn the fan on and then it's like hot.
Okay.
But I brought a short dream because you were bringing 2 dreams. I thought I'll just bring a really short dream.
Shall we whoosh?
Yeah, let's whoosh. Whoosh. So my friend Anderson and I were playing Wii. And we were playing a game called Pokemon Ranch. So he moused over. Well, I guess he didn't mouse. It's a Wii, right? So he hovered over to Pokemon Ranch and it said, playtime 4 hours. And he looked at me and he went, come on, dude. You got to get a girl. You're playing this game way too much. And I just looked back at him and I was like, why? I only played for like 4 hours. And he went, come on, dude. And that was literally it. So my friend called me a loser, basically.
Oh, for playing Pokemon Ranch.
Pokemon Ranch, yeah, it just,
For 4 hours? That's not that long.
That's what I'm saying, Sarah.
Man, your friends are bullying you in your dreams.
I know. There's really nothing to break down about this except that I might be very lonely.
I like that he was like, you played 4 hours of video games, therefore you need a girl. You need a life.
Yeah.
Like, come on, step it up.
That's what he said. By he, I mean, that's what my brain said. And I was like, brain, you better not see some of my other playtime on video games because it's going to be real upset if it sees some of these other games.
Anything over 4 hours, your brain just starts to break down.
Oh, I got a lot of stuff over 4 hours, Sarah. Also, I'd like to point out that, like, while I'm awake, it's like, I like me, right? I'm not that lonely. And then I go to bed and my brain's like, you're lying.
You're a lying fool.
You're a loser. And I'm like, oh no.
Oh no. Then you get angry at your brain. You're like, I'm angry at you.
Well, then I wake up and I'm mad at Anderson because I'm like, why is he so mean to me?
Oh.
He's bullying me in my dream. Come on, Anderson.
Come on, Anderson. In our final segment of the podcast, we'll share a dream submitted from someone in the DreamShare community. Also, before we get into the community dream, I just wanted to shout out a few people who sent in their art after listening to the last episode where we talked about the International Art Museum. Yes, we did.
I didn't know about this.
We got a couple. So Jack and Kirsten decorated a DreamShare sugar cookie, and this was a couple months ago, but we only have a couple art submissions, and I just want to give them all a little bit of light. So the sugar cookie was one. An anonymous jellyfish sent in a poem. I say anonymous jellyfish because, on Google Docs where like someone who you don't know is on your document, they're like anonymous badger or anonymous bear.
Yeah.
I chose anonymous jellyfish for this person, but they sent in a poem, which was awesome.
Via Google Docs?
No, but I needed a name that was better than anonymous.
Oh, sure. I understand. I thought you were in like a document and then they just posted a poem and you were like, who is this?
I was in like a budgeting document or like a schoolwork document and then they just appeared and were like, hello, Sarah, I have a poem for you.
Yeah, it's all through text communication and you're like, who is anonymous jellyfish?
Anyway, they sent in a poem. And then a few months ago, Laura sent in her dream book, which is made out of fabrics and dyes. So if you want to see any of these or check these out, I actually have a little Instagram story highlight reel of art that people sent in for you to check out if you're interested. Or if you have art, please send it because I'll always put them on our story on Instagram and I'll also always add them to the highlight reel. So definitely tag us, send it to us. We love to see it. I haven't been doing art lately, but I think my brain's just been tired. So I think it might be good to art as a verb, to art. But yeah, okay, so let's get into the community dream. So this dream comes in from Kat, who writes, my family was some kind of biblical magician family that were descendants of the house of David and Elijah living in 300 CE. And our family, for generations, had been trying to figure out this forbidden holy spell. My siblings, Andrew and Abby, and I figured it out in secret. But our family friend magicians, the Blairs, were suspicious of us, so we had to cover our traces of us figuring it out. Laura Blair was our biggest adversary. She tried to keep us from the spell because she knew if my family, the Lews, figured out the holy water Mary Magdalene spell before the Blairs did, we would reign supreme of our order of magicians and ruin the equal balance of power between our families.
This is so specific. This is so specific and so detailed.
It's real detailed, but I love it.
Oh my goodness.
It turned out that we didn't complete the spell properly, but we were given eternal youth anyway.
Rad.
So fast forward a few centuries. Andrew and Abby and I were still trying to figure out the last part of the spell, chasing clues in ancient manuscripts. Something tipped us off that the spell was hidden in a code in a Winnie the Pooh book called Piglet's Encounter with Mary Magdalene.
Of course.
We had to hunt and search for the Piglet book, now in the possession of a sketchy professor. She tried to keep us from getting the book, and I woke up just as she locked us in her bookcase and the FBI were on their way. This is like what I see as like if a Hollywood director came in and was like, all right, well, the market's hot. What do we need? We need some religion.
Hot.
We need some action, some FBI. Well, we got to throw in Winnie the Pooh because they're a sponsor. Like, oh, we got to do Romeo and Juliet, the two families. Like, just combine all this stuff into one.
Sarah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I don't think this is a dream. I think Kat is just telling you all this because she needs help finding this last, like, Piglet book or whatever.
Oh, she's telling the DreamShare community, like, reach out and go find this
the Piglet book with Mary Magdalene because...
I see.
I'm not sure why, but just because she has to beat
well, you
the other
gotta
family.
Find the holy spell, yeah.
Even though they already got eternal youth?
I mean, when you're a family of magicians, there's always some drama. Anyway, I actually had to look up a couple of references. Like, I didn't know who Mary Magdalene was, and I naively thought she might be a Winnie the Pooh character. It turns out she is not. She is a figure from religion.
Okay, I was thinking someone like Mary Poppins.
Oh, I was thinking also the Virgin Mary at first, but it's not the same. I mean, I should really ask Kat because it makes sense that Kat had this dream because I do know that Kat is like a religion major, or that's not the right word for it, but she studies religion and different religions.
The amount of details in this is not something that you or I could come up with.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah.
She sent me this dream, and along with it, she was like, yo, this one was wild.
That is wild.
And then I read it, and I was like, yo, that is pretty wild.
Yo, that's wild. The only religious thing that, like, if I had a dream, I would, like, probably pull from would be, like, Beyblade Moses. I don't know if you've seen that.
What?
You know Beyblade Moses?
No.
It's Moses, but it's, like, in the show Beyblade, like, Moses parted the sea, not with, like, magical powers or whatever, but with his Beyblade. If you haven't seen it, just go to YouTube and search, like, Beyblade Moses or something. Anyway, great dream, Kat.
Amazing dream, Kat.
Sorry, great dream in quotation marks.
Oh, right, because this is definitely a true story.
I'd be willing to bet.
Anyway, if you have a dream that you want to share with us, or an art piece or anything, you can email us at dreams.dreamshare@gmail.com. We might read your dream on the podcast or share your art on our Instagram. Most likely, we will share these things because we love to share. Interact with us on Instagram at DreamShare Podcast. Check out our story highlights reel. There's one for art. There's also one for memes, which are not actually memes. They're just funny things that I was like, this is funny. I'm going to post this. So you can also check that out. And if you like what you heard today, share it. Share it to the world. And follow us for more updates. And as always, sweet dreams.